Hi there, this is another off-topic video about my rice popping experiments. What I've done this morning is to try and pop some rice. I've been using metal sieves over a flame, namely a butane camping stove in this particular case. The rice was cooked and then dried for 36 hours through laying it out about 1 grain thickness over on aluminium foil on my work surfaces for about 36 hours. When I tried this, I could do it. I could actually pop the rice, but it seems to be very sensitive, and you need to have relatively small gas flames and to have the sieve a fair distance above the flames themselves, and to shake the sieve so that the rice does not catch fire. And also the popping process is not totally uniform. You get some grains which are popped, you get some grains which basically aren't popped. But on the other hand, I can do it. The type of rice I've been experimenting with was basmati, because I happen to have it in stock. I think that the style of rice or the type of rice was in fact wrong, because the grains were very small and didn't puff up very big. So the next time I could be asked to do this, I will try using pudding rice, which has fatter, larger grains, and could therefore potentially be a better solution. As a byproduct of my experiment, just using a metal sieve and a gas stove, I've learned that this is actually a very traditional way of making popcorn. So I bought myself some popcorn, popping corn kernels, and I thought I would give it a go. And I didn't just use one sieve, I used 2 sieves, one underneath, one on top, with the kernels in the bottom sieve obviously, and I used the top sieve to try and stop the kernels from basically popping all over the place. What I found with popping corn is that it requires a higher temperature than rice popping, and I could even, whilst I'm shaking it, because you have to carry on shaking it otherwise the corn will burn, actually have it even touching the flame and allowing the sieve to actually get red hot in places just for a short period of time, but also varying the height above the flame to try and make sure you're getting it right and you're not causing a fire. So I've built up some skills in how to make popcorn without fat or grease over a gas flame. This has led me to go back on the internet and have a look at more websites about popcorn, its nutritional value, and whether it could actually be used as a good foodstuff. Apparently, according to one particular website, and I'm not going to reference it down there because I don't know whether this is accurate or not, but apparently the early settlers in the United States of America used popcorn as a breakfast cereal. They had it with cream and sugar, and as a result of that, popcorn was the first ever puffed grain breakfast cereal. So this morning I had my dry fat-free popcorn mixed with a splash of water, some sunflower seeds and some linseed as a form of gluten-free breakfast, and it wasn't too bad. It was actually okay. Alright, so it appears to be a very cheap way of feeding yourself. I've also been looking into popcorn recipes, and there's all kinds of things that you can make with your popcorn and things you can add to it. There's even bacon recipes, and there's recipes involving trail mix and fruit and nuts and all sorts of things mixed in with the popcorn, and also chili and curry and chocolate and God knows what else. So popcorn could actually become one of my many staples, just using my very simple, very quick, very cheap method of just 2 metal sieves. Now I find it a rather inefficient method because there's still some unpopped kernels at the bottom of the sieve, no matter how much you've made. So it's obviously not as efficient as actually going out and buying a air popping popper for popcorn, which is something I might try and save up for maybe next month when my paycheck comes in, and basically just see how it goes. Do I want to just rely upon popcorn? Basically, no. I would like to be able to pop rice, although popped corn is supposed to be gluten-free, so long as you don't, buy it from your cinema, because apparently there could be impurities there. Then, it can be used, but it also seems to make me feel rather tired and lethargic, so maybe I have a mild allergy or reaction to corn. I don't know. But either way, it's proven great fun, quite interesting, and the idea of trying other popcorn recipes would be great. A half-kilogram bag of kernels for popping costs in my local supermarket 85p. And so, hypothetically, if one wanted to completely destroy one's own diet and nutrition and just live off popcorn, you could probably stay alive for something like about 40 or 50p a day. Popcorn is very, very cheap. So instead of making bread in a bread maker, I'm making popcorn with 2 metal sieves and a butane camp stove. And I've got a couple more gas bottles, very cheap gas bottles, which are being delivered within the next couple of days, so I should be able to carry on experimenting with rice and corn and seeing what I can come up with. Type of recipes I want to try for corn, popped corn, include curry, chili, dill, coriander, onion, garlic, if I haven't mentioned that already. I was even thinking of making a pizza flavor with the help of basil and tomato puree, and then mixing that up with other stuff. Also, there are forms of kind of like syrup you can get, which are fruit extracts and contain no sort of like unrefined sugars, and I might give that a go as a form of a topping if I can mix that in with margarine and then just pour that on top. So the things that one can do with popcorn, either as a dessert or as part of your main course, or indeed as a snack during the day, is in fact really rather incredible. If I can do the same thing with pudding rice, then essentially, I'll be expanding my horizons quite a lot. But of course, it's still a bit of a complete pain in the you-know-what to try and cook the rice, spread it out, dry it, then pop it as well. But the financial saving itself probably would make the whole thing quite worthwhile. So, this is just a lowdown of my experimentation. It is rather weird that, I thought I'd come up with a great innovative way of popping rice at home, and then it turns out it's a very traditional way of popping corn. But who cares? It's cheap. I've got the equipment for it. It's ultra cheap. Those metal sieves, they cost me £1 for 2 in a local pound shop. So that's obviously cheaper than spending like about £25 on a air popcorn popper, although I have seen some cheaper ones around on the market. Maybe I will check that out later on down the line. Just wanted to let you know my current experiments with gluten-free food in the form of popped corn and popped rice. Speak to you in a while.